Right on, everybody. See this mess right here in front of me? That is a optical Theremin. So what I've got to do is, here's the circuit board. I don't know if it'll actually focus or not, but there's the board. It's got all sorts of stuff that has to be done to that. There is a 8-pin socket somewhere. I think this is the socket that has to be soldered on the board, and then here's the timer, the actual brains to the thing. It's got a couple of those are 1 meg pots. There is an on-off switch. This is it looks like an output jack, 1/4 inch output jack. No, 1/8 inch. There's the 1/4 inch output right here, so you got options for that. This is for powering up if you wanted to use a 9-volt adapter. And then of course there is the old school 9-volt battery way. It also gives me about 5 feet of wire. I had to cut that up in little pieces. The cool part, these right here are optical light sensitive diodes, and that'll be the triggers that we'll use. And there's also a resistor and a couple of other diodes. No, these are capacitors. That is a resistor. Those will go into there. So that's the idea anyway. There's options in here to where you can keep both power input options. So you could use, depending on how you wire it, you could keep the 9-volt battery and the 9-volt power adapter. You just have to like mount all this stuff in something. This is originally designed to be put into like a stomp box type of a setup. What I'm going to attempt to do eventually is put this stuff together, and then on the output, which is going to be normally like this guy here or this guy here, I'm going to try to run that into a third potentiometer, like a blender pot. So the signal coming out of these, which is going to be just for adjusting the Theremin, there'd be the output that would go to this. I'm going to try to send to a blender pot, and then to the output jack, and then the passive signal that'll be coming from the pickups, that'll also go to the blender and then out to the output jack. I don't know if it'll even work, but I'm going to give that a try. So I'm going to start trying to put this thing together, and I'll be back. Right on. So there's the board so far. I got the socket soldered in, the capacitors and the resistor soldered in, and I got to tell you, my soldering work sucks. This is what it looks like on the back side. So far, so good, I think. So, what I'm going to do next, probably, I guess, would be to follow the instructions and see what's next. I believe what I've got to do, if I want to use both power options, I just got to wire both of them in. But if I just want to experiment around, seeing that I don't really have a 9-volt adapter, I'm just going to use this. So there is a wire down here, so I can find it. Shit, that shit's small. But somewhere in there's where the power goes in. I think it's over here. I think it's one of these. I think it's these three right here. And if you're going to use the DC jack or something like that, you're supposed to, I don't know. I'll go back over the instructions and make sure I don't fuck it up too bad. But, yeah, you just make a jumper wire, and then you don't have to worry about having a 9-volt adapter plug hanging off. So, yeah, since I'm just experimenting around, might as well just go with the basic as I can. So, there we go so far. I'll be back. Well, I was going about this, right? I got one pot soldered up, ready to go. Got the other wires tinned up and ready. And this goddamn thing broke. The terminals, the whole thing, there's a little circuit board that's hooked into this pot. And it just broke right the hell off. That's some sweet ass piece of shit work there, guys. So I'm gonna get some new pots and use my own. Get rid of these Chinese pieces of shit. Fucking piece of shits. So yeah, I'll get me some new parts and I'll go back at this again. All right. So I had to go into the other kit and steal one of the other pots. I noticed they have a B1K and a B1M. I'm not sure what those are for, other than making sure that you wire them up differently. So I pre-tinned the wires and did the same thing that I did on like the guitar pots. You know, you pre-tinned the tabs. That way, when you solder everything, it goes together nice and good. Got the there's the other one right there. There's the 9-volt battery lead. And then, whoops, I'm sure dropping it on the ground does it a lot of good too. There's the other side. So I got the socket in there. I put the timer in there. I got the what were those? Those are capacitors and the resistor up there. So the only thing I got left to do is wire in the output jack and attach the LEDs and the on-off switch. But I ran out of solder, so I'll come back and do this later. Alright, well, you can't see that. Let me get some light on this thing. That didn't help much. Anyway, I just got done wiring up the Theremin. It took me a little while. As you can see right here, these two little dangly things coming out the top, those are optical LEDs. This thing isn't really focusing too well. But that's that. Those are going in. Those are soldered onto the circuit board. There's a timer and the controller. We got the 9-volt lead coming up over here for a battery. There's a couple of pots and an on-off switch. And that black thing there, that's for the 1/4-inch jack output. So I'm about ready to plug this thing in and see if it works. So I'll be back. Oh, and before I get on to turning the Theremin on, I have a really bad problem with my eyes, and so I invested in this gigantic kit. It's an OptiVisor. It's got, well, it's a magnifying visor. This has got an extra loop on there, so it like 2 times the magnification coming out of one eyeball. It comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lenses, because there's 5 here. There's 1 already installed. There's some extra hardware screws, because that's what holds the lenses in. There's also somewhere in here supposed to be a light, but I don't see it. think they ripped me off. There's supposed to be a little incandescent light that clips on up here, and kind of shines light down onto the thing that you're trying to magnify. Pretty cool stuff. But I just used this to do the soldering on the Theremin, and if I didn't have this thing, I wouldn't have been able to get it done. So if you're thinking about needing one of these, and you go, well, I don't know, get one. They work, and this one is worth every bit of it. So that's that. So I'm just going to get ready to plug the 9-volt battery onto the Theremin and run some audio tests, and I'll record those and hook that onto this video, and I'll be back in a little bit. Well, I tried it. I got everything hooked up, and well, I got no noise. Kind of expected that though, because my soldering skills, well, they suck. So anyway, if this was a paint job, I'd be taking it back down to wood again. But I just got to check a couple of the soldering areas that are questionable. There was one wire that came undone, which was part of the on and off switch, and another one of the wires came undone, which is part of the power setup. So it wasn't getting any power. And then I think I might not be getting enough gain out of my mixer board, this thing here. I don't think I'm getting enough gain out of there to actually hear what's going on. So I had the same problem with Rob's guitar. I was running it through the mixer, and I could get no noise at all, and we took it down to Guitar Center, and bam, it was making all sorts of noise. So I think I might have to buy an amplifier. Damn it. Oh well. I'll just give me a small little practice amp or something like that. I probably need one anyway, just so I can, check stuff out as I'm creating it. But anyway, this is it. So I got to figure this out and fix a few things. I'll be back. Well, there it is. I finally got it all soldered together. It's not pretty at all, but I finally got the positive lead soldered on there. So I got availability for 9 volts. There's the on-off switch. That's the 1/4-inch output jack. One of the pots. I'm not sure what that one does. And there's another pot. I'm not sure what that one does either. And then you can just barely see them right there and right there. Those are light sensitive LEDs. There's a controller right there sitting in a socket, and there's a couple of capacitors and a resistor over here somewhere. But I got it all soldered together, and I hooked the 9 volts up to it, and I got no nothing. So I think what's happening is something to do with my mixer. I don't think the mixer has enough gain to actually play something like this. So I think I need to give me like an amplifier, something that will actually work. So I'm gonna see what I can do about that. So I'll be back later.